Welcome to Kyrgyzstan, the hidden heart of Central Asia, a land of snow-capped peaks, crystal-clear lakes, and ancient Silk Road history. From the breathtaking Tian Shan mountains to the shimmering beauty of Issyk-Kul Lake, this is a journey through untouched landscapes and timeless nomadic culture. You're watching Beyond Realms, an epic Roma production where travel is reimagined. Stay with us, because Kyrgyzstan will take your breath away. In the heart of Central Asia lies a land of untamed beauty, where the horizons stretch wider than imagination and the mountains touch the heavens. This is Kyrgyzstan, a country of nomadic spirit, ancient traditions, and landscapes so cinematic they feel like another realm. Our journey begins at Lake Issyk-Kul, the world's second-largest alpine lake, a vast sapphire set in a crown of snow-capped peaks. Despite sitting nearly 1,600,000 meters above sea level, Issyk-Kul never freezes, its waters warmed by hidden thermal springs. For centuries, Silk Road traders rested on these shores, gazing across the glassy surface as if staring into infinity. Today, you'll still find yurt camps scattered along the beaches, where the sound of horse hooves and the crackle of evening fires echo traditions passed down for generations. From the lake, the road winds into the Tian Shan mountains, the mountains of heaven. Here, towering summits rise beyond 7,000 meters, glaciers gleam in the sunlight, and valleys carpeted with wildflowers spill endlessly into the distance. It is a place where eagles soar overhead and shepherds ride through alpine meadows, their herds grazing on pastures unchanged for millennia. Trekking here feels like walking through a living painting, every step revealing a new canvas of raw, untamed beauty. Not far away lies Kyrgyz, a town that blends cultures and histories into one fascinating mosaic. Wooden Russian Orthodox churches stand alongside intricately designed Dungan mosques, built without a single nail. This quiet town is also the gateway to some of Kyrgyzstan's most breathtaking treks, trails that lead to hidden lakes, hot springs, and valleys where glaciers carve the earth into surreal landscapes. Kyrgyz is also famous for its hearty cuisine. Try ashlian pho, a spicy cold noodle dish introduced by the Dungan community, perfect after a long day in the mountains. Journeying west, we find ourselves in the vast Songkul Lake Plateau. At over 3,000 meters, this high-altitude lake is a summer paradise for nomadic herders. Here, families move with the seasons, pitching their yurts along the shores and living as their ancestors did centuries ago. Guests are always welcomed with warm bread, kumis, the traditional fermented mare's milk, and stories by the fire under a canopy of stars. Nights at Songkul feel timeless, as if the modern world has been left far behind. Southward, the land grows wilder still, leading us to the dramatic Ala Arka National Park just outside the capital, Bishkek. Waterfalls tumble down rocky cliffs, glaciers crown the ridges, and trails climb toward jagged peaks that challenge even the most daring climbers. Yet amid the grandeur, it's also a place of quiet reflection. The sound of rushing rivers and wind through the pines creates a symphony of nature that lingers long after you leave. No journey through Kyrgyzstan would be complete without experiencing its nomadic traditions at the World Nomad Games. This modern revival celebrates ancient sports, from horseback wrestling to cockbaroo, a fierce Central Asian game where riders battle for control of a goat carcass, a test of strength, agility, and teamwork. Here, history lives not in museums, but in the muscles of riders, the rhythm of drums, and the spirit of competition carried across generations. Hidden deep in the southern valleys lies Arslanbob, home to one of the largest walnut forests in the world. Legend says these trees were planted by Alexander the Great himself, their harvest feeding armies and traders for centuries. Today, the forest feels almost enchanted, its leafy canopy sheltering waterfalls, mountain trails, and villages where time seems to move at its own gentle pace. Further along the Silk Road lies the ancient city of Osh, more than 3,000 years old and once a vital crossroads of trade and culture. Its bustling bazaar still thrives, filled with the aroma of spices, sizzling kebabs, and vibrant fabrics that tell stories of distant lands. Rising above it all is Suleiman Mountain, a UNESCO World Heritage Site considered sacred for millennia. Pilgrims climb its slopes in search of blessings, just as merchants and mystics once did along the Silk Road. Standing tall near the town of Tokmok is the Burana Tower, one of Kyrgyzstan's most important historical treasures. This ancient minaret, built in the 11th century, once guided Silk Road caravans across the Choy Valley. Today, it leans slightly with age, surrounded by scattered stone carvings known as balbals, silent guardians left by Turkic nomads centuries ago. Climb its narrow spiral staircase, and from the top, the sweeping view of the valley feels like a window into the country's timeless past. And finally, we arrive in the remote Alay Valley, where endless pastures stretch toward the Pamir Mountains, known as the roof of the world. This land feels almost otherworldly, with vast open skies, wandering herds and distant peaks veiled in clouds. It is a place where silence speaks louder than words, and where the spirit of Kyrgyzstan, resilient, free, and timeless, is felt in every breath of mountain air. Our journey through Kyrgyzstan concludes, but the adventure never truly ends. This is a land where landscapes defy imagination, where traditions live on through song and story, and where every horizon feels like the beginning of another tale. Beyond Realms invites you to witness these cinematic vistas, mysterious legends, and awe-inspiring moments. Travel reimagined, brought to life with vision as only an epic Roma production can deliver. Thank you for joining us on this voyage through Kyrgyzstan's hidden wonders. If this journey moved your spirit, please like, share, and subscribe, and let your fellow travelers know that more epic adventures await. Because the world is vast, the stories are endless, and every realm is waiting to be explored.